This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Welcome back to the Essay Files. This is your host, BogusBird, and today we have a special guest in the studio, my lovely, beautiful, pregnant, gorgeous, sexy wife, Honey Bunny.
Hi.
So, last night we went out and we watched Thor, Love and Thunder. So, I thought it would be appropriate for us to do a non-spoiler review. We'll talk about it here for a few minutes, and then we'll let you know when to skip if you have not seen it yet. We'll do a spoiler part right after, and do come back because we are also going to cover Beavis and Butthead. Maybe not me and my wife because she kind of doesn't like that, or do you?
No, I hate it.
So, how was date night?
It was great. We went to eat out. We watched a movie. We had no kids. So that was, the best part. Enjoying a natural outing calmly in peace without any screaming.
That's right. You hear that, Mrs. CK? We had date night.
Yes. Although we didn't dance, but that's not our thing.
But you had fun, right?
Yes.
Did I treat you right?
Yes, you even got me dessert.
Oh, me or the cake?
No, the cake.
Oh, well, so I wasn't just.
I'm not even gonna say nothing about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I will. It was hot.
Oh boy.
Oh, we have a third in the studio here. She's supposed to be on her tablet. So, baby girl, zip it. So, after date night, we had a nice discussion in the car. And I guess, do you want to go first or me?
No, you go first.
Okay. So, Thor Love and Thunder. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. I've been hearing that it's too many jokes in it. It doesn't take itself seriously. That, it's just one giant joke. And I haven't heard that it's a flop. I've heard that, it's hard to really describe this one because I did enjoy myself. I did like it. I did have fun, but at the same time, there's a lot that I wish that was given to me in this film. There was a few things missing. For starters, the comedy in it. Yes, there's a crap ton of jokes in it, and it was the same director as the last one, Ragnarok. So, if you're familiar with that humor, then it translates over to this one. I wouldn't say any more or any less. I think it was a good amount of comedy injected into this film. But at the same time, there was some serious shit that was going on during this film. There's 3 separate storylines happening at the same time, but none were really highlighted for me. And I did not feel any satisfaction from any of the 3. The movie flowed. The movie progressed. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. There wasn't a moment where I was bored. But again, and I'll get to it in the spoiler section, I didn't walk out of the movie theater 100% satisfied. I wasn't 100% happy with it. How did you feel about it, babe?
Well, I think the level of humor was okay. I didn't thought it was too much. I thought it was a good level. Like you said, there was 3 different stories, but I was actually satisfied with the movie. I wasn't at the edge of my seat like most Marvel movies, but I guess it had a good storyline. there was enough action sequence in there. I just felt like it didn't keep me like when I'm on the edge of my seat.
You weren't invested in the movie?
I was invested emotionally. Besides that, not that much, I guess.
No, when you say emotionally, what do you mean by that?
Well, see, there was 3 different stories for characters in the movie. I felt that they needed more storyline to them, more to make you feel for those characters than just a quick run through so you know what's happening and then they just run with it, you know.
Right.
It needed more
okay.
for you to be invested emotionally.
Okay. I think we can go with non-spoiler. I think specifically you're talking about Gore, the butcher. Like his storyline was, it was supposed to be a tragic backstory. Something terrible happens to him, and that's the reason why he became a god murderer, right?
Yes.
And I felt like they kind of gypped it. They didn't give me a reason to care. They didn't give me a reason to really connect with his tragic backstory. Well, did you feel like they did a good job with that? Did you feel connected to the character?
I didn't feel strongly connected, but I understood what they intended to do. Mm-hmm. And I understood the feeling of it, what it was supposed to be.
Right.
So I did felt emotionally during those parts, but I just felt that I needed more.
Yeah, and I agree. The backstory given to us was like the 5-minute intro, and it was barely enough information to know what's going on, to know why he's a villain, but it wasn't enough for me anyways, to connect with that character, like to really care about why, he's a villain. I just didn't feel it. But what about him as a villain? Did you like his acting? Christian Bale, by the way.
Oh, good for you.
The guy who played the guy in your favorite Batman trilogy. That was him. That was Christian Bale.
Oh.
And how was it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. He's a damn good actor, right?
He was good. I thought he did a good job being the villain. He sold it as the villain. Mm-hmm. I just needed more emotionally on his, why he became that way.
Right. Like, I really like the facial expressions that he did. Like, he played that character, Gore, he played him so creepy. I don't know, he kind of looked like a zombie. He kind of looked like a voodoo doll, kind of, or maybe like a really dirty, I don't even know, but he looked fucking creepy as fuck. And
well, yeah, he was consumed by the sword.
Right. He looked fucking great. He looked creepy as hell. The yellow eyes really brought out the creepiness, especially like in the dark scenes. Like you can barely see the figure of his body and his face, but you can see his eyes just glowing in the dark. It was really, really good. Like, I know they weren't going for a horror movie, but they did a really good job making him look like a villain.
Yes, they did.
What about Jane, Natalie Portman? She was in the very first Thor movie. Mm-hmm. What did you like her as Thor in this return of hers? Because she hasn't been in really since the second one. She hasn't been. Yeah, she came back in the second one, and she kind of disappeared for the last, I don't know, 6 years. She hasn't really been around.
I think she was a good Thor. She was powerful. She tried to be funny, which it wasn't her portray, but I guess as a nerd character, it was given. She was super excited, like anyone would be when they first have superpowers. But, she was really strong in that character. I liked her,
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Excuse me, bro.
Hey guys, have you heard of the Essay Files?
No. What's that?
It's a weekly podcast that discusses entertainment news. They focus on topics surrounding Marvel movies, TV shows, DC movies, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, anime news, pop culture properties such as Aliens and Predator, and various other geek culture series and movies.
That sounds awesome. I'm a huge fan of all those things.
Me too. I've been listening to it for weeks now, and it's really funny. The hosts are very knowledgeable about their stuff, and they always have a lot of interesting things to say.
So how do I subscribe?
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you can listen to a podcast.
Awesome. I'm going to do it right now.
You won't regret it. Oh my god. Yeah, and Jane, she got jacked. She worked hard. She went to the gym. She worked out. She worked hard. She looked amazing.
Yeah, she did.
She looked fucking awesome. She could bench press me any day.
Hey.
No, but really though, the girl, she looked amazing. She looked amazing. She looked the part. She took the part seriously. She wanted to be, a badass Thor, and she did. She fucking looked great. She looked amazing. It was a little weird kind of seeing somebody not Chris Hemsworth in a Thor getup, but damn, she pulled it off. She looked awesome. I loved it. I thought the look was great. What do you think? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, I thought she was amazing. She looked amazing.
Yeah, and then of course she's a great actress. Every scene that she was in, she did great. I have zero complaints on that end. She was just great. What about who was our third character there? Valkyrie, right? She was in it.
Yeah, she was more like as a background character.
A background?
Yeah, she was barely in there. Well, not barely in the movie. More like, I guess she was more like an afterthought, but she was still there.
Right, I agree. I think she kind of took more of a sidekick role. She was in it. She did some stuff. Mm-hmm. She could have been important in the movie, but she kind of wasn't. She was definitely a side character. She wasn't even in the last boss fight. I guess that's a bit of.
She started it, but she didn't end it.
Right, and kind of same thing with I forgot his name, but the fucking rock guy.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Quar? Fuck, I don't know. Well, I guess that proves our point. He's so unimportant in this movie that, I can't even remember his damn name. He has a couple funny spots in it. He's not as funny as he was in Ragnarok, but, he has a few moments to shine. He's there. He does some stuff. Mm-hmm. He just stands there and looks hard, gets hard all day. Is that, no? Mm-mm. He doesn't, oh, okay. No, okay. Don't cut that out then. No, but yeah, he's definitely in there. He does some stuff, and he feels like a minimal character. He barely does anything. He becomes obsolete like halfway of the movie, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Although I did kind of like that they did this movie where he was kind of telling the story of what happened. Okay. Like he was the narrator, kind of.
Yeah, but he made it sound kind of like a boring narrator.
Really? You didn't like his narration?
I did not. It seemed more like
I thought it was
especially on the whole story with Thor. I thought it was more like like I don't know.
I thought it was funny, like the way, because he's a quirky character, and he's in the very beginning. It'll be like, let me tell you the story about Thor. He lost his dad, he lost his mom, he lost his girlfriend, he lost his hammer, he lost his brother again, and he lost his brother again. Like the way he talks and the way that he delivers, I think he did a really good job. I think he's funny, underutilized in this one, but I think he did a good job as a narrator. One more thing that I do want to cover though is Matt Damon makes a return. He is the actor. He's the actor who plays Loki in the plays. You know Matt Damon, right? The Bourne Identity. He's Loki in Dogma.
Really?
Hi. Remember me? I'm Loki, the angel of death from Dogma.
Yeah. That's
no way.
Yep.
Where?
He in the plays that they do in the movie.
Oh, the one that was playing Loki.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's him.
He's playing his own name but different character.
Yeah.
Funny.
Wow, you know what? I never even picked that up. That he was Loki in Dogma.
Yeah, he was Loki in Dogma.
He plays Loki in MCU. That's fucking hilarious.
Wow. I didn't even caught that.
And apparently, the actor who plays Thor in the plays, that's Chris Hemsworth, his real brother.
That's his brother?
That's his brother.
I thought that was a double because he looked a lot like him, but if he was his brother, then yeah, I would understand
It
that.
really does
The
look like him.
resemblance, yeah.
Yeah. Like, the only thing I've ever seen him in was the Expendables movie. I think maybe the second one. He was the young guy. He dies, like, in the first mission. He's very forgettable, but, you know, I thought he was going to start, like, a movie career, and then, you know, I don't really know him in anything else. But, you know, he plays a pretty cool Thor double. All right, I guess, you know, my final thoughts on it. It was fun. It was good. I enjoyed it. Would you recommend it to, you know, anyone to watch in theaters, honey?
To watch it once, yeah.
You wouldn't watch it twice?
Not in theaters. I would still own the movie just to have my collection, but, you know, not in theaters. I'll still watch the movie, like, maybe once a year, just because. Okay.
Yeah, I still think it's worth watching in movie theaters. I do think it's worth watching in movie theaters, but I do agree. At least once. I don't know if it's one of those that I would watch over and over and over again.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, where would you rank it on the Thors? I mean, there's 4 single Thor movies.
Yeah.
Where would you rate this one?
Of course, Thor first. This is always the best one. I think.
The first one, you mean?
Yeah.
Thor 1 as number 1. Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll put Ragnarok as number 2. This one for number 3, and then the one that we can't remember.
The Thor 2. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's last place.
Yes.
Okay. I think so. Thor Ragnarok, definitely my favorite, number 1. The second one, I'm gonna have to say, you know what, Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm gonna put that as a solid number 2. Even though I have my gripes with it, you know, it was still good. It was entertaining. I liked it. Number 3 in third place, the first Thor. And maybe it's just me being a little harsh on it, but, you know, it doesn't age very well. I was never a huge fan of Thor himself, right? And I felt like it was a decent introduction to Thor, the character, but I did enjoy pretty much the half of the movie. The first half of the movie, I enjoyed it, but towards the end, it kind of dwindled down. It was the big boss villain was the guard of the castle, you know, that giant robot thing, which was unimportant. It was just, you know, he was like a mid-level boss. He was nobody important, and, you know, just nothing big, nothing really. The stakes weren't really high. I don't know. I didn't really care for the end of that movie. Like, it was decent, but it could have been bigger. It could have been better. Which they did get bigger and better as, you know, time progressed. But it was solid, but definitely a number 3 spot for me.
Ouch.
You said that was your favorite one. Why was it your favorite?
It's nostalgic.
Why do you say that?
Because you get to meet Thor, like, see his hardship, what he been through, like you know, growing up with his brother y todo.
Your Mexican is showing.
Shh. I thought you were gonna bypass that.
Oh no, I'm definitely not.
So yes. And then how he became to be the mighty Thor. I thought that was a good, you know, self-exploration of who he is in that movie. And that's why I think the first movie was really good.
Okay, that's fair. And then the last one, number 4. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember it. I don't remember what the fuck it was about. I remember nothing from it.
Nothing here.
All right. Well, that was cool. That was fun. So if you have not seen the movie yet, We're about to start spoilers.
Spoiler. You better not listen to this spot.
Yeah, come back though when we're finished. You can stop right now and then come back at this time. Come back at this time. All right. All right. So now that we got the spoiler alert out of the way, let me start off with Jane. She has cancer, right?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, please click on the link below and subscribe. Become a bro. And join the
Brochachos.
Subscribe.
Yeah, do it. You owe it to yourself. You've earned it. You sat through this far. You've earned it. Do it. You want it. You need it. We need it. Come on, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. Love you guys.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did. All right.
She's
Wow.
what?
What an expression. You talk about cancer, It's supposed to be sad.
It is supposed to be sad.
Yet you're over here cracking up laughing.
Okay, so she has cancer, and just like I made a joke about it, the movie jokes about the cancer, like throughout the whole thing, basically. Like they don't put any real emphasis on the cancer that she has. They don't take it super seriously. It's kind of like, hey, you have cancer. Oh, okay, cool. That's kind of how I felt. What did you think about the cancer in the movie?
I think for the most part, they try to be respectful of the cancer situation. Like, yes, they didn't emphasize it of her struggles with cancer, especially since it's a stage 4. Mm-hmm. But, I guess they just didn't want to bring that many people down with whatever little scenes they have for it.
Right, but like it could have been so much more. Like, just like the villain, I did not connect with Jane. I didn't have an emotional connection. I didn't have that reason to care. I
still felt sad for her. I'm like, oh no, they brought her back and she's gonna die.
Right, exactly. And, that's supposed to be a big deal. You're supposed to make that feel like a big deal. And I just didn't feel that, they were just like, hey, you got cancer. And then, she just kind of brushed it off. It was like, okay, cool. I have cancer. Like the movie did a good job showing that, she does care about her cancer, but like, I don't know, it didn't translate very well. I didn't feel like they emphasized enough on it to the point where it would make me care, Okay. Like they just made it a point. Yeah, she's got cancer, and then that was it. But like, it didn't really add to the story. It didn't really do much for me. And like, even towards the end, when pretty close to the final scene, they're going on to fight Gore for the final time. And Thor is pleading with her not to go because, she's dying of cancer. The cancer is killing her.
Well, actually, the hammer was killing her faster.
Well, yes, the hammer was doing that, but like, mostly it was the cancer. It was the cancer that was killing her.
Yes.
The hammer, sped things up, but the cancer is what's taking her. And, in that scene where Thor's pleading with her, yes, it was sad. Yes, it was that moment where he knows he doesn't want the girl that he loves to go into battle and die. He doesn't want that, right? And yeah, of course, I see that, and I'm like, all right, I know what they're doing, but I didn't feel it. It didn't hit with me. I just felt like if they emphasized more on the cancer early on, then it would have hit. And okay, and that's what you want from a movie.
You wanted more of her struggles with cancer,
right? Exactly.
To feel emotional.
Yeah. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see her be more upset about it, kind of instead of just brushing it off.
Well, she was trying to find a solution of her own. They did show a few like maybe a minute or two of her trying to figure it out on her own, doing her own research and blood tests and all that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like, she was fighting for it.
Right. But yeah, it just, I don't know. It wasn't enough for me to care about it. And I don't know. In the end, I felt like it didn't add as much as it could have.
Not even the moment when she died? You didn't feel anything?
I honestly, no. I didn't feel that connection. I just didn't, yeah, she was, fucking Thor dies. Her character, she dies. And I didn't care. Like, movie wise, yeah, it makes sense, and I understand what's happening, and I'm supposed to feel sadness, for her character's death, but I didn't care.
Well, then again, you're not that emotionally sad when sad things happen in movies. Like, I'm the one crying.
You cry for anything, though.
No, I didn't even cry for this movie.
Fucking liar. I looked over and I saw I saw the watery eyes.
No, they were shiny eyes, yes. I felt bad and I was thinking, oh, poor Thor, another tragedy. But I had no tears. That's how not attached emotionally I was.
You know what? You had even more tears at the end when Gore the Butcher dies.
Yes, I did.
He's the fucking villain, and you cry more for his death over Thor. Well, James.
I felt more bad for him because of what he's been through. The struggle of surviving his world with his daughter dying, and the gods laughing at him. It was so sad. And then the whole thing, why he became, the god destroyer, and at the end, trying to be, killing everyone for his daughter, and Thor convincing him to not do it, you can bring back your daughter. And when he did, it was so sad because it's like he won't be there for her no more. He got freed from the sword, and he has his daughter, but he can't live with his daughter no more. It felt so sad that a young girl would be living by herself.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, it's what the movie is presenting. It's some heavy shit. It's sad. There's no way around it. It's a sad situation. It's but again, in the early opening of the movie, Gore the Butcher, they show a little bit of his struggles. They show that he's wandering the desert with his little girl in his arms, and they're dying. They're hungry. They're thirsty. They're heat exhausted. And unfortunately, the little girl dies. And I think that kind of hit with me a little bit, maybe because we're parents now, and we have a daughter of our own, and it just kind of it's like, oh, that fucking sucks, like that. I definitely got that feeling. Mm-hmm. But then he gets called by
the sword.
Yes, the sword is what calls him, mm-hmm. and he goes to it, and
he sees the gods.
He sees his god, and specifically, yes. I don't remember who he is or his name, but his people's god is there. He's chilling. He's like eating. He's eating fruit. He's next to a waterfall, and
he's celebrating of a hunt.
Yeah, and Gore is pleading with him like, "Hey, help me, help your people," and the god tells him to fuck off, basically. Even though Gore's the last of his people, the god is like, I'll find some more followers. Fuck you. And
yeah, that was like, he put his whole fate in this god. He even prayed for this god just before his daughter died to at least give them water so they won't die of dehydration.
Yeah, and the god fucking waves him off, fucking asshole. And then the sword kind of just attaches to him, and the necro sword has the ability to kill gods.
Yes.
So it attaches itself to him, and he decapitates him. Fuck him. But then, the sword corrupts him, and then he decides all the gods will die. That's basically his origin right there. It's very quick. It's brief. It's enough to tell you why he's the villain. but they could have done so much more. They could have showed a lot more of his backstory. They could have, like, I wanted them to make me feel for him, like
Before he was the villain?
Before he was the villain, because then, it would make more sense at the end when he is about to succeed. He's about to kill all the gods, and then Thor basically talks him out of it, and he's standing in front of that one god that grants wishes, and instead of him killing all the gods, he decides to bring his daughter back. And at that point, that's where he dies, and the girl stays, right? But again, I didn't feel for him. I didn't have that connection with him. And if I had known more about his character, maybe I would have cared more. Maybe I would have felt that connection. Maybe I would have seen some tears go down your cheek. I definitely didn't. I just didn't have that connection there, and I wanted it. It was there. It could have been there, but it wasn't.
But you sensed all the what they intended to do, that it was sad, that that he wanted best for her and all that,
Yeah, of course.
That at least what they were trying to tell you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, there's story there, but they didn't flesh everything out properly. I felt like they just didn't emphasize, they didn't highlight the storyline, and same with Thor's story.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you want to help underprivileged bald men whose hair has fallen, one by one? If you subscribe today, a hair will grow back on CK's head.
For every
one click,
for every like, for every follow, you can make a difference on that bald, shiny head. Subscribe now.
Please, if you don't want my brother B to start looking like CK over there, please subscribe. He's heading that way. With every subscribes, you can get a follicle on that balding head of his. Bing.
Do us all a favor. Subscribe.
Oh God. I even though they try to put Thor like depression after Ragnarok, they showed more depression in Ragnarok than in this movie that they try to bring it back. Here he just seems lost. Like he seems like his old self when he's not by himself, but then they show that few little moments when he's by himself that, oh, I'm so depressed and all this, but it's not a lot.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. He doesn't come off as someone who's really sad or depressed or, and the intro makes a point to remind you, hey, he lost his planet, he lost his brother, he lost his family, he lost everything. He's a wreck, he's a mess. And they even remind you of what happened in Endgame, which I feel like they did a better job of showing his depression in that one. Because of his failure to kill Thanos, right? Like he was out of it. He lost, he gained all that weight. He stopped caring. He was definitely, not in a good place.
Oh yeah, that was the bad look for him. Poor Chris.
But yeah, in this one they're kind of like, hey, don't forget he's still depressed, and he didn't come off like he was depressed. He just, like you said, he seemed lost. But the movie was kind of pushing, no, he's not lost. He's depressed. It just didn't work. I didn't think it worked. They didn't show that he was depressed. They showed that he was just lost and kind of wandering, trying to figure out, who he is. And
all over again.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It was a mess. It was upside down. It just didn't hit with me again because we kind of already saw depressed Thor and, and then this time we saw lost Thor, but the movie was saying, no, not lost, depressed. It just felt so weird. Like the movie that wasn't sure what they were doing with this character. Like he's a fun, goofy guy, and he doesn't have any real story to him anymore. He's just an idiot. What do you think about that?
Yeah, pretty much that covered it for this movie. Yeah, that's pretty much how he was. He didn't care about destruction or anything else that he caused anymore. Yet
somehow he was still worthy of picking up Mjolnir because, he did pick it up. Although he's a bumbling idiot, he still picked up Mjolnir. He's still worthy.
His new axe getting so jealous of him trying to catch the hammer again.
Okay, yes. That was fucking hilarious.
I loved it. No matter if they played it like, how many was 2, 3, 4 times that joke, I think it was best. I think it was good.
But you know what, though? I felt like they overplayed that joke. Like, the first time, it was fucking hilarious. The second time, it was like, okay, still funny. Third time, like, okay, that was maybe a bit much, and...
Nah, I liked it.
It was a funny joke. It was really good, but I think they overplayed it.
Well, you know why the hammer didn't want to go back with Thor, right? Because Thor told the hammer, if anything happens, take care of Jane. And that's why the hammer didn't want to go back to Thor. It was taking care of Jane.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I thought that was kind of nice, the way that they showed how and why the hammer chose Jane. Because, Thor kind of enchanted the hammer when they were dating, apparently. Mm-hmm. For, like you said, for the hammer to always look over her. And I guess when she came looking for it, it reacted to her and, it kind of lent her the Thor power.
Yes.
So it did make sense as to why Jane was able to access that power. Another thing that I did want to mention real quick, why the fuck did Thor have the power to just give anyone the power of Thor? Because he gave a group of children, apparently, the power of Thor.
Temporarily, but, I believe that it's because of the Thunderbolt. It was more powerful and it acknowledged Thor since he is thunder and he is able to wield it. So I guess because of that, Thor asked the lightning bolt, to give the kids power to defend themselves while, they were being attacked.
I guess I can work with that. I guess I can accept that as an answer.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that he gave some of his powers to the kids temporarily. That was a cool sight how the kids knew how to fight and all that. They look so badass.
Do you think he'll ever do that again? Like, if they're ever fighting the next big boss, the next big Thanos big boss, Thor's going to be like, all right, Avengers, here's some Thor powers.
No, I don't think he'll use the lightning bolt anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I guess it was fine. Make the kids powerful for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just a fun little scene, but it would be kind of cool if you could do that. Like, just here you go, Ant-Man, have some Thor powers. Just I don't know. It was just kind of random, I thought.
Yeah. Well, what do you thought about Zeus? The big god of them all. I really think he was more pantsy. Especially the way how he stepped down with the little skirt all lifted up, tiptoeing. I was like, wow, was it really that bad back in Greece?
I thought Zeus was fucking awesome. I mean,
okay, his entrance was amazing. It was cool. I liked it, but I don't know. His character just seems really. He seems such a jerk and ass.
Whoa, hey, hold on. The first thing on his list of business to take care of in that huge meeting with all the gods was the orgy. I mean,
that's not the first thing that they should be thinking about.
But it was first. I mean, I think he's a cool guy. He's.
Oh God.
I mean, that's important. Have to schedule these things, set all the rules, and what. No. Well, obviously, okay, like you would expect Zeus to be like this almighty, powerful being, and I'm kind of thinking like in the movie Hercules, the Disney one.
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, the big dude, just hugely, overly buff, like all powerful, right? Like that's what you would expect.
Yes,
and maybe that's the reason why they gave us this version of Zeus, just kind of out of shape Zeus, like, I don't know, just to make it funny, or I don't know, just give you something that you wouldn't expect. But I thought it was fine. He's still powerful, obviously.
Oh, obviously, yes.
And for future wars or movies or whatever they're gonna do, because now Olympus apparently wants to crack down on Earth. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. In the battle scenes, just because he's not a ruthless looking, overly buff guy. I mean, he's still gonna be a menace. He's still gonna be a problem, right?
True.
But you know what? That brings me to the end cutscene where they they're finally bringing in Hercules. They kind of teased them in the beginning, and then I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, they're gonna bring him in. He was sent by Zeus to pretty much find Thor and take him out, right?
Yes, yeah. So pretty much Zeus is gonna be the villain, and Hercules is gonna be the lackey.
Yeah, and I guess ultra spoiler here, in the comics, Hercules apparently joins the Avengers at some point.
Really?
So, if you know that, which you do now, you kind of know what's going to happen in the next movie. He's probably going to go down. He's going to be a rival to Thor, probably a rival to Hulk also, which could be interesting. It might not happen right away, but eventually Hercules is going to turn to the good guy's side. And so, that could be cool.
It just seems, like I would never picture Hercules being an Avenger.
Right, but...
It's so odd.
But traditionally, Hercules is a hero, right? Like, he's, the half-human, he's a hero. He's not a villain, traditionally.
Okay, yeah.
And in this world of Marvel, why wouldn't he join the Avengers? He's one of the strongest men alive,
True.
I know it sounds weird, Hercules being an Avenger.
I can't picture Hercules on Disney trying to be an Avenger with his flying Pegasus.
Yeah, the years to come, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, it'll still be fun to see him go toe to toe with Thor. And then there was a second end cutscene at the end of the credits. It showed Jane made it to Valhalla.
Yes.
What did you think about that?
I think it was, since she became a god, well, temporarily, and a Viking, she was meant to be in Valhalla. I don't think she'll be comfortable in there with all those gods, because she doesn't know that many.
Good point.
She probably just gonna know maybe just his parents and close friends of Thor. That's about it. Besides that, everybody else will be strangers. But I think it'll be nice, Thor will see her again once his battle is over.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point.
Ooh. What if she comes back to life?
I mean, that's possible. They showed that her soul has moved on. She's still kind of existing, at least somewhere. Mm-hmm. They could, I don't know if, I really don't know if there's a way in the MCU to bring back the dead. Not that I can recall right now, but I guess it is possible. Her soul is still alive somewhere, in Valhalla. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's possible. Also, it's good to know that Valhalla is real.
Yes, as soon as Valhalla appeared, I felt bad for the guy, the villain.
For Gore?
Yeah, I was like, damn, his god didn't promise him anything after death, but here's the Vikings' god.
Yeah.
Which is what, Odin's son?
Right.
He actually gave an afterlife for his people.
Yeah, it's good to know. What about for us? Is heaven real? Though should we be turning and joining the Vikings? Should we be? I
don't know. Everybody has their religion.
Yeah. So I'll take that as a yes. We'll be converting soon. And
no.
Oh, all right.
No, can you imagine trying to work out and get those muscles?
Hell yeah.
And just battle villains with swords. Okay, I will love the bow. And I do good poses with the sword and shield.
That's right.
Don't get me wrong. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think I can survive that life.
We'll see. Well, that's the end of our Thor Love and Thunder review. That's our thoughts and our opinions. That was fun. Thank you, honey. Thank you for joining me.
Yes. You're very, very welcome.
Where can our listeners find you?
Never.
You heard the lady. She's on mine. So we'll be moving on to the next part, which is Beavis and Butthead. For this portion of today's episode, we have a returning champion, Farquaad, and he has brought whiskey. Whiskey. Ah, so good. So what do we, what'd you watch earlier, dude?
The new Beavis and Butthead movie.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead.
It was quite a movie. Brought back some good memories.
Good memories. Okay. Now, I know that there's quite a bit of an age difference between you and I. We're about 10 years apart. How was Beavis and Butthead for you growing up? Like, what did it mean to you? How do you remember Beavis and Butthead?
It wasn't like the biggest show in my life back in the day, but it was still funny, I would like to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you mostly have, like, fond memories of it.
Yeah, definitely do.
Okay. The way I remember Beavis and Butthead was, honestly, I didn't even used to really watch it until Mom saw on the news that a Beavis and Butthead is bad for your children on Telemundo, the Spanish channels. Yeah. She saw that on the news, and then she's like, "Yo no los quiero mirando eso." Which translates to, she didn't want us watching Beavis and Butthead because the news told her that it was bad for us.
It's a gateway drug, guys.
Exactly, yeah. And so when that happened, that's what made me say, okay, I want to watch it. Because, we're kids, we're teenagers, or whatever age I was. And that's where I started watching when Mom would go to sleep. I'd find the channel, MTV, and Beavis and Butthead was always on it late at night, so that's where I would catch it.
And that was basically when I would watch it too, because you guys were watching it.
Yeah. And then the first movie came out, Beavis and Butthead to America.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Yeah. That movie, dude, it's, you know what? I don't care how old it gets, it fucking holds up. It's hilarious. I can watch that movie over and over. Fire! And I saw that the first time at our cousin's house. And, he was a huge Beavis and Butthead fan. So, he would get the movie and, he'd buy the episodes. And, we'd catch a lot of episodes and stuff from him. But, yeah, the Beavis and Butthead movie, dude, it's completely different than the episodes. It raised the standards for Beavis and Butthead. And really, I was not expecting a sequel, like, ever. I first heard about the sequel maybe a few weeks ago. I didn't even know that it was coming out.
Actually, yeah, it was like 2-3 weeks ago, too, for me when I heard about it.
Yeah, I barely caught wind of it. And to be honest, I only caught wind of it because I was looking at a calendar of what movies are coming so I can watch and review them for this show. That's the only reason I knew it was coming.
Huh. Looks like it worked out, huh?
I guess so, yeah. But I just thought it was kind of weird. I didn't see any promotion, no commercials, no ads. And I don't have cable. I just basically stream everything. But, you would think that there's some sort of ad or something.
It probably wasn't for this generation.
Well, yeah, you're probably right about that. But yeah, it's out now. It's available on Paramount Plus. You just finished watching it, like what, half an hour ago?
Something like that.
All right. What are your initial thoughts? What do you think?
It's worth the watch. If you grew up watching it or even saw the show like sometime, I say you should watch it. It's a very good movie.
Very good movie. Well, you know what? I did enjoy it. I liked it. I watched. I had a lot of laughs, to myself. But I wouldn't say it's a great movie. It's good, but I don't think it has that same appeal that Do America does. It, to me personally, it was It's one of those that I watched once, and I could probably watch it again next year. Maybe after that, I don't know. Maybe it might take a couple years, you know.
But you would rewatch it.
I would rewatch it. It's got some really funny shit in there. However, I do feel that they definitely held back.
Yeah, well, personally, I feel they did that maybe because if somebody from this generation were to see it, I would feel they'll probably get offended by some things that were said if they were to go full-blown Beavis and Butthead.
100%. If I don't know, some snowflake watches Do America. Oh my God! Let's cancel Beavis and Butthead!
They're gonna have a BF.
I'm so freaking pissed. I'm gonna have a BF.
All the Karens out there, don't watch it.
Oh, yeah, but do the universe. It's still funny. They'll come through with a lot of sexual jokes. That's their bread and butter for this one. They focus on sexual jokes, which I'm 100% okay with.
They definitely delivered.
They cut back in a lot of other areas, and that's fine, I guess. I understand the reasons why, right? Like, you know, back then the humor was different. It was definitely not what it is today. You know, back then you were allowed to be funny. Today you're almost allowed to be funny.
Or like you said, they'll probably get canceled.
Yeah. And, you know, surely they want to continue Beavis and Butthead today. Like, they set it up to where, you know, they can come back with, like, new episodes or maybe new movies down the line. Or, you know, they kind of set it up that they can continue for the modern day. Not too many spoilers here, but Beavis and Butthead end up in in today's world. You know, they basically time travel from the 90s to now, the 2020s.
What was it, like 98 till 2022?
I think that sounds right. And obviously they did that so they can continue to have Beavis and Butthead existing in today's world. And a reason for why they still look so young.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely.
Now, I feel, though, that that was the main purpose of the film. It was to bring Beavis and Butthead to the modern day, just so they can continue new episodes, new movies. You know, so the plot kind of surrounded itself around trying to bring them to today's world. And I think that kind of crippled the movie a little bit. And in my opinion, it kind of felt forced that they were pushed into today's world, you know? Like, the last movie, it was a clear story. It was, these kids, they fucked up. And, you know, they fuck up so big that the FBI is after them. And, you know, it was a straightforward story. So, yeah, it just felt forced to me, dude. Like, that was the main purpose, to bring them to modern times. And it kind of crippled the movie a little bit. It just, I don't know. It felt kind of like, do whatever you guys want, but this has to happen. You know, bring them to today's world. I don't know. Like, the beginning of the movie was pretty funny to me. Like, they basically become astronauts, right? And which we'll get into that in a little bit, but that part is fucking hilarious. And they become astronauts, and then they get they basically time travel into today's world, and then that's where it starts to get kind of weird, where like they're already in the future, and then they get future versions of themselves telling them, "Hey, you fucked up the timeline. You have to go back to 1998 to fix everything." And then, you know, they kind of reappear a few times later on, and the story's kind of like there's a purpose, there's a goal for them to do, but they're just not doing anything to progress a story. They're just trying to get laid, you know, the usual Beavis and Butthead, but they're not progressing the story.
Yeah, personally, I feel that was the movie could have done good without that part, without their future selves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it's really hard to say, but I felt the story was weak, half baked, maybe, you know, rushed a little bit.
Yeah, I feel after the first part, when they were in the past, though, the 1998 or whatever, that part was really good. But then once they got to the future, it kind of slowed down a little bit. But it still had funny parts, like everywhere throughout the whole movie.
Right.
So it still saved it kind of like that, you know?
Right. The other thing I did like about it, and CK actually did not like this, but I felt that Beavis actually had a lot of character growth in this movie. He's normally the second guy. He's just standing there for laughs. He's just the guy to get his ass beat by Butthead. He doesn't really, you don't know much about him. He's just, the punching bag.
Did they say his first name in the movie by chance, or was that his mom?
It might have been his mom.
Oh, okay. Because I thought they said his name for a second. I think I rewinded like twice just to be sure.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, there was a lot of character growth in there for him, which I thought was really good. He's not just some little asshole, he's a little asshole who actually wants to be loved, He wants to be with somebody. He wants something for himself.
Yeah, at least they did that for him,
Yeah, he doesn't just want to get laid. I mean, he does. He does want to get laid. But he wants more than that. He's not a one-trick pony.
Like Butthead?
Basically, yeah. That guy is remaining the same. Maybe, he'll have some growth going forward. But in this movie, I really like that they did that for him.
Yeah, so do I. That was good for him, honestly.
Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about, obviously it was for nostalgic reasons, but they bring back Cornholio.
Oh, man, that part was funny. That was funny, dude.
I kind of thought it was the way when it started happening, the transformation. I was like, "Oh my god, they're gonna bring him back, Cornholio. He's coming!" And sure enough, he makes a comeback. And I guess after Do America, you kind of have to bring back Cornholio. And I'm glad they did, but it also at the same time almost felt a little forced that they had to bring him back. But at the same time, like I'm glad they did.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna leave Cornholio behind. He's part of the show basically, or / movie.
Right.
He has to be there.
Yeah. I guess overall, what do you think of the movie though?
Scale 1 through 10, I'll probably give it a solid 8. I won't say like an 8.
I enjoyed it. I was entertained. Nostalgia, of course, was there. Good sexual humor.
Comedy was there, definitely. Had me laughing like throughout the whole movie.
I kind of, I'm going to give it a 7. The humor, I like the humor. Story was definitely lacking. And a few parts really felt forced to me. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay. Still better than average.
Yeah. I mean, it gets a passing grade.
Okay.
Compared to Do America.
Oh no, To America, it blows it out the water still.
100.
Yeah.
I mean, just a quick reference, I guess. What would you score Do America?
From my memory, since I was younger back then, but from what I remember, it was probably like a good 8.59, which is still better than this one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking 8.5. It's been a couple years since I watched it, but I have watched it multiple times.
Okay. So when you watch these multiple times, was it like throughout the years or like how spread apart?
Maybe yearly, maybe a little longer, but definitely have watched them multiple times.
Okay.
I mean, that came out in 98, so give or take 12, 13 times.
Oh, okay.
Over the last, since it came out.
Okay. That's good, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And Do the Universe, I don't know, man. I don't see myself watching it yearly.
No, not me either. Unless, like, it's on the TV or something, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
But, like, personally, I wouldn't be like, hey, let's watch this, like, now. I gotta watch it,
Right. So I guess that's our overall thoughts on the movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, watch the movie, and come back, because now, spoilers! Spoilers. All right. Farquaad, go ahead. Take a sip.
Whiskey.
All right, your favorite part.
Excuse me. My favorite part has to be the beginning when they're becoming astronauts, especially when they're practicing the docking.
Go ahead and elaborate on that.
So basically, they got in trouble at a school fair because they burned down the school gym, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they were court ordered a punishment, but the judge saw differently, and he saw potential for the kids,
right.
Beavis and Butthead,
right?
Because he felt like society failed them.
They're delinquents.
These delinquents. So instead of punishing them to like community service, they were punished with 8 weeks of a NASA tour.
Mm-hmm. Man, I need to burn down a gym.
That's what I'm saying, man. Shit. No, but apparently they spent 18 hours straight with no food or anything to drink, just docking the machine, going in and out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they were docking basically what looked like a pillar with a rounded top into a... they were inserting it into a hollow... I don't even... What would you call that? I'm not even sure what to call it.
They were simulating the satellite so they can bring the satellite, the people that aren't working on there, onto the ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it was like a tunnel, I guess you would say.
There we go. Perfect. They're inserting this pole, giant pole, docking pole with a rounded head into a tunnel, which represented a satellite. Yes. There we go. Basically, it was a dick being inserted into the big hole. Yes.
Or as they would put it, their bunghole.
Yes. And they did that for 18 hours straight.
And I guess that impressed the NASA people, man. The commander. She was so impressed, she wanted them to go on to the expedition with them into space. Right,
yes.
So they can be the conductors of this pole.
Right, yeah. And it was, to gain press and, attention to NASA, that they're still hip and cool. And the way that she worded everything, it sounded incredibly sexual. So she was saying, like, would you guys like to do that for real?
With me?
So, obviously, these two kids, right, Beavis and Butthead, they thought that she was inviting them to have sex with her. And that's the goal of the movie. They want to get laid, with the commander chick. And, yeah, everything that she was saying throughout the whole intro of this movie, it sounded like she was inviting them, and they're just like, okay, cool, yeah.
Their face expressions, dude, when she was saying all of that.
Oh, yes.
Priceless.
So good. Oh, man. But, yeah, dude, and then that's when they go into space, and they go into they fuck up, and they basically get casted off, because she gets incredibly pissed at them.
Basically, they had a telescope on the ship, and the idiots decide that it's a good idea to aim it at the sun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They burned their eyes out. So when it was time to do the docking, they were blind, and they basically...
pressed everything?
Yeah, they fucked everyone on the ship. And the ship was roaming around space aimlessly with no fuel.
Basically, Infinity Wars when Tony Stark was up there by himself. Mm-hmm. With what's her face?
Nebula.
Coincidence, nebulas are in space.
Oh, fun fact, kids. But yeah, dude. So, basically they're fucked and they get casted off from the ship because they're idiots. And they go into the wormhole, which sends them into, our time. And in our time, that's when future Beavis and Butthead come in. Well, actually, it wasn't even future. It was a multiverse version, right?
Yeah. I think they probably got inspired by like everything the multiverse is happening.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, a multiverse version of Beavis and Butthead have powers to go through, different universes. They're obviously watching what's happening because they knew something was wrong in this time. And so, they're kind of some sort of a higher power, I suppose.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. I thought they were kind of funny because they were being like the straight men. They basically weren't idiots, 100% idiots. But they're still stupid as fuck. They would still do sexual jokes, but in the cleanest and nerdiest way that you can think of. And they would be like, that is quite comical. Yes, quite comical. They're still fucking idiots. But oh man. But yeah, man, that's where they're like, all right, here's going to be the portal so you can go back to 1998. All you got to do is walk through it. And Beavis and Butthead would not walk through it because they're
idiots.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Their attention span was so small, they get sidetracked like within 5 seconds.
But that's Beavis and Butthead's character. That's just how they are, it's pretty accurate,
Yeah.
So it was actually very entertaining to see, someone from 1998. How will they react to today's world? They met Siri, which I thought was fucking funny because he thought he was talking to somebody on the phone, but it was, the Apple AI.
Oh, yeah. The NASA commander chick they wanted to get it on with's name was
Serena. Yeah. Oh, that's right. So Beavis thought he was talking to Serena, but it was
Siri replied because it's so close to the name.
Right. And they basically they run into a whole bunch of shit like that. Like, what would they do in today's world? And it was funny to see how they reacted and the stupid shit that they did. And they fucking robbed that one guy's phone and figured out how to pay with the phone.
So what's your password? Password.
Yeah, and that was a correct password. So if your password is password, you should probably change that.
Oh shit, I gotta change mine.
Oh, all right, that's a good idea. Yeah, you should do that. but yeah, man, we're not gonna go through everything. But the ending, it was kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know how I felt about that ending. It felt half-assed. It felt like, oh, what do we do? I don't know. Just, we'll just end it. It was such a weird ending, man.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of the ending. I felt like exactly like you did. Like it was half-assed, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just here's the portal, go through it. One last time, and then somebody else went through it.
Serena's like vice president person or whatever, the person like right under her because he knows everything she did.
Okay,
so he knows about like when she killed them supposedly in the 98.
Oh, right,
expedition.
Right. That's right. I forgot about him. So yeah, once he goes through the portal, multiverse Beavis and Butthead are like, oh, I guess that fixed everything.
World saved.
Yeah.
Multiverse is saved, guys.
Yeah. We don't need a Doctor Strange. You just need Beavis and Butthead. So, but yeah, apparently that fixed everything and everybody left and Beavis and Butthead stayed in today's world.
And Beavis got laid.
Oh, multiverse Beavis.
Well, I wasn't trying to spoil everything.
Wow. This is the spoiler review.
I guess. True that.
So multiverse Beavis gets laid. And apparently he did such a bad job that she ghosted him. But you know what? Apparently, according to multiverse Beavis and Butthead, no other version of them ever got laid. Ever. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. But that one version of him finally did, so that's a win for
Beavis.
Yeah. I guess.
So are all the Beavis and Buttheads the same age, or it's multiverse, so it's a different them from different universe, I guess. Yeah. So I'm assuming they're all the same age.
Yeah, I'd assume so. I mean, because I'm gonna say yes, because at the end, you kind of get that view of like so many different versions of them around in this hallway, which why is there even a Beavis and Butthead auditorium?
That part reminded me of the Rick and Morty. What's it called?
Oh yeah, the one world that they build where the town where it's all Rick and Morty's.
Yeah, that's what I got off of it when they showed that part.
Yeah, but if that existed, how come our Beavis and Buttheads never got the invite? They never.
Maybe they're the dumbest of the bunch, so they didn't get the invite.
I guess so. But it was kind of neat. I did rewind and I kind of did the play and pause, trying to see the different versions of Beavis and Butthead, which was pretty neat. They got some creative freedom there, the artists and whatnot.
Yeah, I saw a few aliens here and there, Beavis and Buttheads.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
This is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
But yeah, I did wonder, like, why are they in power? Why the hell? They're all fucking idiots.
And the ones in charge is like a queen version of Beavis and like a duke version of Butthead.
I guess, maybe it was just for the laugh. I guess everything doesn't need an explanation. It's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, that ending still, it did just feel kind of flat, half-assed, rushed, like they didn't know how to do it. So they just kind of threw it together and called it a day.
They probably got themselves stuck in the corner somewhere with the story, so that's why they finished it like that.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm sure that's what it was. But yeah, man, like I said earlier, 7.5 for me. It was worth a watch. I had a good laugh, especially before they time traveled. I might give it another watch just to, just to say that I did. Maybe next year or something.
And I'll probably watch it with them if I'm there. If not, I probably won't watch it for a while.
You watch it with your girlfriend though, right?
Yeah, I had to explain a lot of the comedic jokes to her.
She didn't take to Beavis and Butthead, huh?
No, not really. Just for you guys to know, she speaks mainly Spanish, so all the English jokes kind of went over her head. So I had to pause and explain quite a few times.
I see. Well, maybe the next time we watch it, we'll look for the Spanish dub.
Oh man! Imagine their voices. Soy Conjunto. Ocupo tipi para mi bonhol.
Vámonos, Beavis. Oh, terrible. We should dub that.
Definitely.
Well, I guess that's probably gonna do it for us. Any last thoughts on it?
Like I said earlier, if you've seen the actual show and seen the first movie, I feel like it should be on the watch list for you. I'm pretty sure you will get a good laugh out of it. At least once, like watch it one time.
For sure. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for joining me. It was fun.
Yep, thank you. It was fun to be back. See you next time.
Thank you, sir. And then there was one. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening all the way through. We really appreciate it. As usual, you can always find us on www.thesafiles.com, where you can listen to all of our episodes. You can check us out on Patreon. If you could support the show, that would be awesome. You can also follow us at the SA Files on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We'll be best friends. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Basically anywhere you can listen to a podcast, pretty good chance we're on there. This is BogusBird signing out. Catch you on the next one.